In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the tool within XRM Toolbox named as Recycle Bin. Now, this tool was created by Deepak Patini. So, what it does is this tool allows you to retrieve the deleted records from the Dataverse backend system. It has an ability to retrieve records only if audit is enabled. So, the prerequisite basically is to enable the audit for the environment. Then the audit should be enabled for the table or entity, and audit should be enabled for the field or column. So if you have all these prerequisites met, then you will be able to retrieve the deleted records. Now, by default in Power Platform, once a record is deleted from the system, you cannot retrieve it back. There is no recycle bin in Power Platform, unlike in another systems like SharePoint. So you should be very cautious once you think about deleting a record. Now, if you turn on the audit in the backend, what it does is it keeps a track of who deleted what record, but there is no way to retrieve it back to the environment. Now, this tool does that. So, this tool basically allows you to restore that record. It is not technically a restore, but then you will be able to get that record back if you accidentally delete those records. This is how the application looks like. So in this application, I have seen that like I if I log into this recycle bin tool, then I can see the deleted record based on the date range, based on the table or the user selected. And then once I'm happy with the restoration process, I would just select this option and then I'll say I want to restore this record. And in the backend, you can see all the changes which is happening within the system. So let's jump into the demo. So let me navigate to the Power Platform environment for you, and let me close all those tables. Yeah. So in this environment, so I'm in Girish Dev environment. The first thing what you need to do before you make use of any of this tool, you need to turn on the auditing functionality. Now, how to turn on the audit functionality is when you go into Girish Dev or any environment, you should see this auditing enabled as yes. Okay, if it is not yes, then you will not be able to view the audited records which was deleted by your system users or any of the user. Now what you need to do, you need to click on start auditing, log access, read logs, and whatever data long-term retention you want. Now this is all like optional component, but then the first one is important. You need to start auditing those all the changes which is happening within your system, whether it's just logging or reading. But if you want to just disable log or read, then you can go ahead and do that as well. Second thing, what you need to do, you need to go at a uh, table level. So in my case, the example would be, so first what we did the start auditing at an environment level. Then we'll go into the tables, go into the right environment, sort this by C2A, go to your specific table. So this is my custom table. I'll go into that table, and under here, you will see if you click on properties, then under advanced option, there is an option to audit changes to its data. So if you turn this on, then you can safely assume that all the columns within your table will get audited. Now, selectively, you can also deselect the column which you do not want to get audited. So if you click on any of the column and go to the properties, and you can go into the column and you can turn on the enable auditing or disable it. By default, it is enabled all once the auditing capability is set at a table level. But you can selectively go and remove this option as well. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just showing you how to set the stage before you use this tool. Right. So now we have enabled this tool, and I have also installed this tool from the uh, XRM Toolbox repository. So if you do not have this tool, what you can do, you can type in recycle bin, and then in recycle bin, you can install those tool. If for me, it is already there. So I'll go to recycle bin, and this is how the application will look like. Now this is connected to one of my environments. So make sure that you are connected to a specific environment where you will be operating. Now under entity, you will you need to if you select here, you won't see any options. What you need to do, you need to click on load entities and users, so it will start loading all the users and entities within your tenant. It might take some time depending on how many users or how many entities exist within your environment. And once that is done, you can go ahead and select the entity and select the user. Entity is basically the table or the targeted table for which you are looking for the deleted record. So this is specific to deleted records only. Now it might take some time. In the meanwhile, what I'll do is, like, I'll show you how to view the audited information. Now there are multiple ways to view the audited information. Now in audit settings, you have something called as global audit settings over here. Click on global audit settings and it will take you to the old portal whereby you will see all this information as well. Now, going back to the Power Platform environment settings, under audit and logs, you will see something called as audit summary view. So if you click on audit summary view, here you will see all the audited information, what's happening within the system once you enable those audit functionality. Now, let's see whether the table has been loaded. Yes, it is all loaded. Select the entity. So take for example, this is the world, and I'll select all user for time being, and I'll say show deleted record from the last 1 month, and it will show me that one of the record was deleted. Okay. Now forget about this record. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the world application, which I've already created ahead of time, and I'll try to delete some record from the system. So take for example, if I delete this Kuwait city, I'll delete this, and I'll delete UAE Abu Dhabi. I'll delete this record. Now I've deleted two records. Now if you go in the back end of your system and see the audit summary view and then just refresh it, you should see that these two records which are deleted is now part of the audit trace. Okay, so if I go into one of the record, it will show me that you have deleted Abu Dhabi record. Good. You have deleted Kuwait city record, so from the world table, entities table, so all good. Now if you go into your XRM toolbox recycle bin, and if you click on show deleted record, then you will see that these are the two more record which has come now. Okay, now these are two deleted records. Now what, how do you restore this? Now before you even restore, I just want to show you the application. Now here, if I refresh this application, I don't see those two records, Kuwait and UAE. Now if I want to see that record, what I can do, I can go into this toolbox, I'll select, say I'll just restore UAE record, I'll select this, and there is an option to restore the record. I'll click on restore record. It will say, are you sure you'd like to restore this deleted record? I'll say yes. Okay. And see this date, 12:42 a.m. Okay. I have restored this. Now I've restored this record. And now I'll go into the application and try to refresh it. I should see the UAE record. Now this record is now restored. Now how it got restored? Because I've used this tool, and then that tool has helped me to restore that record. Now I don't see any Kuwait city record over here because that is not yet been restored, so that's missing from here. So in order to do that, what I can do, again go back to the tool and I'll say, okay, I want Kuwait city to be restored, and I'll click on restore record. I'll restore this record. Records uh, has been restored, so I can go back to the application. I don't see Kuwait city over here. If I click on refresh, and then I should be able to see that Kuwait city record. So this record has been now restored. This was restored earlier. Now, as you see over here, when you see this created on, okay, now this created on is now not the created on date when it was created. Now this Kuwait city record was created long back, not today. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is that this is not actually a restore, but what it does is, like, this tool basically goes into the back and looks into the deleted record and tries to insert that new record. So this is not actually a restoration, but then you will get all your record which was deleted that work is done, you will be able to see that record. However, it will not maintain that time trace over here, as this record was created long back. It was not created today. That's why you see this. Like, say, we'll give an example also. Like, say, for you have this USA Washington DC, this was created on 29th of the second. I'll click over here, I'll delete this. So this is 29th of the second when it was created. Now you don't see USA over here. You go into the toolbox, you ask to show the deleted records, and here you'll see USA. You select this and then you'll say I want to restore the record, and okay, done. Now going back to the application, if I refresh this, now you have seen that you have this USA record restored over here, but then now the created on date is changed, right? So that means this is not actually restored, but then you will be able to restore the record, but not all the timestamps will be restored back. This is a simple case of an insert. Now, if it does work for you, all well and good, because there's no recycle bin functionality in Power Platform. So this should work for you for a moment. So that's fine. Now, you need to be very careful that we have just taken an example of just one table, but there might be multiple tables which gets linked with each other using primary key, foreign key relationship. Now, if you want to restore those things, you need to be very mindful that you need to restore all those record in a, say, some sort of an order. Now here in this tool you can only load based on entities, okay, based on one by one entity. So take for example, if this particular record is connected to, say, contact record, and if you've deleted that contact record as well, then that contact record needs to be restored first before you restore this record. So there are some things which you want to take care. If it's kind of a cascade delete or referential delete, then you need to be very mindful about that thing. But this is a very useful tool. Now if you go into the audit records over here, and refresh it, you will see that the thing which we deleted, that's a USA record over here, now it got created. It is not something called as a restore. So there is no restore option as an event, but it's a creation activity. So that's it, folks. This is all about uh, recycle bin functionality tool within the XRM toolbox. Thanks for watching.